everyone, it's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button because normally you would find new DIYs and tutorials here every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But right now, I'm right in the middle of my 12 days of Dollar Tree DIY series. So every Monday through Friday for the first 2.5 weeks of December, you're getting a brand new tutorial. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My whole channel revolves around creating custom and beautiful home decor while staying on a budget. If you'd like more holiday inspiration, I'll have a playlist down below that you can click on and find almost 100 tutorials on how to create a beautiful home as well as Christmas gift ideas. And that's what I have for you today. I'm going to be sharing with you how to use Dollar Tree supplies, which are super inexpensive, to create some really high-end gift ideas for the holidays. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first idea that I have for you to use as a really inexpensive Christmas gift is a menu. So these are at Dollar Tree, if you can believe that or not. They are really ramping up their craft section. And this is basically a wood framed out chalkboard on a little stand. So it makes it a nice tabletop design, which is why I thought this would make a really cute menu, so you could put it on your kitchen counters. And I want to give mine that farmhousey look, so I have some acrylic paint here. It is by Americana in the color Traditional Burnt Umber, and I'm going to use this to give it a faux stained wood look. And the reason I'm doing that versus traditional stain is because this will dry much more quickly. So the first thing I need to do is use my painter's tape here and tape off the chalkboard so we don't get any paint on that. I'm going to give this a coat of the acrylic paint and then use a wet paper towel to wipe some of that paint off, and that will let some of this beautiful wood grain from the frame show through and have more of a stained look versus a painted look. Alright, so here it is all dry. I'm going to take that tape off, and then I'm going to be adding a vinyl decal to mine. If you don't have a vinyl machine or vinyl to cut your own, you can also use a paint pen that's white, or this is a white chalk marker. I really love these, honestly better than paint pens. It seems to work better. But if you want to create your own vinyl decal, I'm using Oracle number 651 in matte white for mine. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply the decal to the top here, and then you'll want to leave room below it to be able to write in the different dinners that you'll be having that week. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apply my decal now. If you don't have a vinyl machine or a way to cut vinyl, you can head over to my Etsy shop, which is crossmyheart.com, and I will have these available there. However, I cannot promise that you will get them before Christmas to be able to use them as a Christmas gift, but if you just want to make one for yourself or for a gift later on in the year, you can access those. I'll link that down in the description box below. If you do have a vinyl machine, I'm using Oracle number 651 in matte white. And if you don't have a vinyl machine and you don't want to order from my shop, you can also use a paint pen or a chalk marker. I like the chalk markers better. They just seem to show up a lot better on the chalkboards. And I also get a lot of questions about the transfer tape that I use, and this is in my Amazon favorite store. I'll link that down in the description box below. Super easy to order off there. But I'm going to go ahead and add my decal to this chalkboard here. You just use something hard to rub on top of your transfer sheet, and then peel the decal away from the paper backing, and then you just apply it to your surface, just take some time to get it in place where you want it. Level it out, even it out. You can use a ruler if you want, or like this kind of font is just kind of wiggly and all over the place, so it's almost like you can't go wrong, which is why I really like this font. This is Magnolia Sky, if you want to create your own. And then you just sort of, I like to press it down with my fingers first and then come back in with my squeegee. If you don't have a squeegee, use a credit card or a debit card or an old gift card you just want to make sure you're getting all of the air bubbles out. And so once it's all pressed down, you just remove your transfer sheet from the top and you're left with a beautiful piece with your vinyl decal. And now I thought it'd be cute to also add a little clothespin onto the bottom here. That way you can put your chalk in the clothespin and then it keeps it handy for the next time you need to go and write on your chalkboard. So these clothespins are smaller in size. They are from Dollar Tree too. They come in a pack of 24. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave mine plain so there's a little bit of a contrast, but you could paint your clothespin or even stain it again with the same color that we used for the chalkboard frame. But I'm just going to use some hot glue to glue this down to the bottom, and then you'll be able to clip your chalk on and off as you need it. And now we're gonna make a cute little picture frame. So the main item I have here is this sign from Dollar Tree. So it's very similar to the chalkboard, but it doesn't have the frame and it's lots bigger. And we're gonna use the back side of this. I also have one of their glass candlesticks and some of their burlap, sort of like a ribbon, but it doesn't have any wire in it. And then I have some jute on hand, some E6000. This is another one of the clothespins from Dollar Tree, the smaller sized ones that come in a pack of 24 in their craft section. I have some white chalk paint, foam paintbrush, as well as my hot glue gun. Now the first thing I need to do is get this sticker off the back of the sign. So I'm going to use my hair dryer, which is a great suggestion quite a while back from one of my viewers, so thank you. You guys are very helpful to me too, so I appreciate that. I'm just gonna melt the adhesive that's on the back side of the sticker, peel that off, and then we'll start painting. I'm gonna paint the candlestick and this whole thing white. Alright, so I have the first coat on these. I'm letting it dry. I'll probably do 3 coats just to make sure everything is nice and covered. I did want to mention, if you're going to be giving this as a gift, I would highly recommend painting out the back too. This one has glitter on it, which is raised. And so you'd want to take some sandpaper first to the sign, sand it down, get all of that residue off, and then paint it. That way you have a nice clean surface to work with. And now that these are dry, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more coats before we move on to the next step. Alright, so now that my pieces are all dry, I added 3 coats to both of them. I'm going to make a bow using this burlap. Now, of course, you could use ribbon or fabric or whatever you have on hand. I really like this burlap from Dollar Tree. It's actually really good quality. It looks really, really nice. So what I'm going to do is make a really simple bow. So I'm basically going to fold a loop on one side and fold another loop behind it. I want to make sure that our loops are about the same size so our bow is even. I'm also making it about the same size as the width of our frame, because once we cinch it in the middle, it's going to kind of size down a little bit, shrink in size. So to crease our bow, which is the most important part of a bow, to make sure it has some stability and stays put, all you have to do is push down in the middle of your bow and pull those edges back down to the sides. And then we're going to use our jute to create a center. So I'm going to wrap this jute around a couple times and then tie it a few times in the back. And now that our bow is finished, it's a really simple one. I'm just gonna hot glue this to the top up here and then glue the clothespin underneath. That's gonna give us more space below for you to be able to clip either a photo, a note, shopping list, recipe. You can use this for so many different things, but I'm just gonna use my hot glue to do that. And now I just need to glue my sign on top of the candlestick. And I'm going to use E6000 for this. This creates a much stronger bond than like a hot glue would. And it's also much better when you're working with glass like this. So I'm just going to put some on the candlestick and then place my frame on top like this, right in the middle. Now this does take 24 hours to dry, so make sure you give yourself enough time. This isn't like a last minute, I need a gift in 5 minutes type thing. You want to make sure this has plenty of time to set up and cure and harden so that your sign can be given and it won't fall apart. All right, and now for this project, I love personalized gifts, especially ones that are really inexpensive and they have a little bit of a handmade touch to them. So this is one of the Dollar Tree cutting boards, but you could use any cutting board. You could buy a fancy cutting board, a big one if you want, from department stores that are still really inexpensive. But since I'm keeping with the Dollar Tree theme, I went ahead and did this one. And what I'm going to be doing is adding some wood burning designs to it. Now, don't let these things scare you. First of all, they're really inexpensive too. I'll link the one that I use in my Amazon favorites store. They're only like 12 bucks, and they come with different tips that you can put on them. You can even use them as a hot knife. So this is something really handy to have in your craft stash, because they come in handy for so many different projects. And they come with this little stand with them too. I don't really like them. Usually I've taped them down to my countertops so that they don't move around and my wood burning tool doesn't go flying. But if you have an old coffee mug, you can stick it right in there and it's safe, it stays put, it's held down. So that's a great tip too. But what I'm gonna do first for this is just use a pencil and create a design on my cutting board first. And then I've chosen this sort of pointy tip on, let me see if I can get it to focus for you. This little pointy tip on mine, but you could use the different tips that come with it. You just want to make sure that you turn off your wood burning tool, of course, and let it cool down before you swap them out. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's tutorial. I hope that it inspired you. Please give this video a thumbs up for me. And let me know down in the comments below, do you enjoy giving handmade gifts for the holidays? If you haven't already, click that subscribe button next to me. I have more great holiday DIYs in the link below that. And you can find more inspiration on my Facebook and Instagram pages. I'll link those down below. Thanks so much again, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.